So I guess to start, we just talk about Jamie Dimon, and he is a guy that is with JP Morgan Chase. He says that the chances of a crash right now are higher than anybody in the finance world wants to admit. But we do have something called the Shiller PE ratio, which I won't bore you on. That should be scary for you. So the Shiller PE ratio is this really important numerical value that takes a look at stocks and sees if they're actually overpriced.
I love your videos, bro.
What's your name?
Brandon.
Brandon, I'm Steven. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Appreciate you.
Your YouTube is great, bro.
I'll do my best. Thank you. It's more like price to earnings. And when it gets above 39, usually really, really bad stuff happens. For example, the last time it got over 39, it was through the year 2000. And, we had the whole stock.com bubble. That whole thing burst. It went to pieces all over the floor. And before that, it was 1929. And you weren't around. I wasn't around. But that was what they called the Great Depression, kids. That was the Great Depression, triggering massive, huge shifts in the market that don't regain a few points really fast. What happened on Friday. If you were in that, we'll talk about that in a second. That was disastrous to a lot of people's 401ks. But these are long-term recessions that last years and years, maybe a decade. And guess what? We're there now. And what does that mean? It means that what you saw last Friday, it could become the norm. The markets, the sell-off I'm talking about, this was ridiculous last Friday. This is all relative to something that happened in the 1970s called the Nifty 50, and it's where everything was in a giant bubble. People were just buying the same 50 stocks over and over again. There were blue chips, like things like Kodak and Polaroid, because Polaroid will never go down, right? Polaroid's the thing of the future. Sounds like Nvidia to me, and I keep telling you AI is in a bubble and you're not going to like it when it bursts. But now, because we're so overvalued, people don't think it's worth that. We're at the same place we were back in 2000. So what you saw on Friday, which was just a domestic dispute between Xi Jinping and Donald Trump on trade tariffs, that might just become the norm for the next little while. So watch out. Check this out. Have you looked at your 401k? Is it good right now? Are you sure about that? Did you pay attention last Friday? Are you in a bubble yourself, ostrich style? Because I don't want y'all to get caught with your pants down, but if you weren't paying attention last Friday, a simple post that Donald Trump made on his Truth Social account talking about 100% tariffs on China coming up in November. We're back here again, of course. Caused the markets to shoot down. The NASDAQ futures chart, 1,200 points. The Dow Jones Industrial, almost 900 points. This is because things aren't worth what they say they are right now. If you haven't noticed, a lot of states are already in a recession. Literally, Wyoming, Montana, Minnesota, Mississippi, Kansas, Massachusetts, Washington, Georgia, New Hampshire, Maryland, Rhode Island, Illinois, Delaware, Virginia, Oregon, Connecticut, South Dakota, New Jersey, Maine, Iowa, West Virginia, and Washington, D.C. They're all considered in a recession, and that's because Washington, D.C. relies on government jobs, and we all know we've gotten rid of a lot of government jobs, but everywhere else is just absolutely hammered. And so these are states that are legit, we're done, we're finished, we're tapped out, we're doing the UFC thing. And it's a mess. So JP Morgan Chase comes along, and one of their top analysts, he's like, hey, the recession is coming. And now, between now and the next 6 months to 2 years, which is a pretty broad scope, but you need to know about this. You need to be prepared for this. Because what's going on right now is a lot of economists are saying there's a 10% chance of an actual recession happening in the country. And if you don't remember a recession, it's where everything starts to cost way more money than you actually have the money for. And you live in constant fear of losing your jobs because you said the wrong thing or accidentally farted during a staff meeting. And as we get to where the GDP is going to maybe possibly reduce down with tariffs, PPI manufacturing indexes are slowing down, showing softness, and jobs reports with unemployment going absolutely bonkers. It'll keep going up from there. And then that'll bring less confidence in the markets. And then we get to that stock market, which looked like this on Friday. Now, let me show you this real fast on the charts, actually. So this was Friday's chart, and if you take a look, as I mentioned, Trump said something about Xi Jinping and China and tariffs, possibly 100% tariffs, which if it happens within 60 days, everything would seemingly, in theory, possibly get more expensive. But to Trump's credit, that hasn't happened, even though we had high tariff rates for a little bit back in the spring. But this is an example of a massive one-day bloodletting in the stock market. But look and zoom out a little bit more. It doesn't make any sense what's been happening for the past 3 to 4 years. None of this makes any sense. Because when you look at this chart, you can see the big giant dip that happens right around COVID-19 time. And then you can just see a never-ending buying spree that never stops. It goes through the Biden era, it goes through the so-called Trump era so far. I mean, it goes through all the different presidencies, and it just refuses to come down. But in reality, this is not what a natural stock chart looks like. It has more ebbs and flows. And if and when we do enter into a correction in the market, to try to get their revenues up, these companies are going to start laying people off, and they've already started laying people off, going to automation, going to AI, as they realize that they don't maybe need as many employees as they have right now. So what's happening with that? That's where we might be on course for like 1 million layoffs this year. And this one's ugly. Because yeah, new projections for the layoffs, and we always get you the layoff report on these videos on Mondays, is that we're on par for, I'm just going to call it 1 million layoffs, 1 million job losses in the United States of America in 2025. They're saying it's 978,000 people. I don't know how. I'm just going to round it up. How do you get that specific? So if you have a job right now, like, love the one you're with, as the old song says. Because if you don't have a job going forward, yeah, it might be really hard to get one, especially if unemployment ends up shooting up. But that's okay, right? Because gas will be cheap unless it's worthless to American producers to make, which is going to lead to possibly more layoffs. Crude oil is actually going bonkers right now. The price of a single barrel of crude at $60. This actually causes a unique problem for American producers. We all want to have cheaper gas. Like when Trump took office, the gas at some point during COVID was over $100 a barrel. But if it gets too cheap, it actually makes it harder and unprofitable for them to take shale and actually refine that stuff. So if crude oil is under 60 bucks a barrel, nobody's interested in putting the resources into actually taking these tar sands, processing them, and then using that product. And there's a bit of a secret here that nobody's telling you, and it's that price of that crude, liquid crude, being below $60 tells you something about the world economy as a whole. It tells you that the world economy is not in demand for oil right now. Oil is something that we use for manufacturing globally around the planet. And if consumers are demanding less products, and if there's less oil needed to produce the products, and if oil continues to tank, so it should signify that you guys need to be doing something to protect your future, right? And I'll tell you what I do, like, to get around that and to create more money. I just trade those markets in the future. I've been doing it for a real long time. I mean, you could have made money last Friday when everything tanked and cratered. And because of that, and because I don't want to be bought by these giant casino companies, and I don't want to take weird sponsorships, I created my own product, my own course, to help you guys possibly make some money so I can self-sponsor and these videos can remain free forever. So I mean, serious question for you guys. If you knew how to go into the markets and without spending thousands of dollars of your own money, if you could go in like a little specialized sniper and go in and pick off 50 bucks here, 100 bucks there, possibly pay a bill, maybe work yourselves up to paying your rent or your mortgage, would that be life-changing for you? And so I created 1K a day. It's my own product, taught by me, and it's a simplified breakdown approach of how to go in to the markets, see 2 or 3 things that are the same thing over and over again, scrape off your profits, and then leave for the day and be done with it. And for the first 10 people watching this video right now, you guys are going to get in for less than the cost of a pair of AirPods Pros. I have 10 spots when I do these videos. It's supposed to go up in price next week is what they keep telling me. Maybe this week, I don't know for sure, because we keep dropping huge bombs of videos on there. So go to 1kaday.diy, type in the code 9 at checkout. You'll get the whole course for 90% off. You guys will own it for life. And you guys will know better than 90% of your friends what's really happening, and you'll set yourself up with a skill that nobody can ever take away from you, because nobody can ever take that talent away from you once you develop it, don't you know? And you'll be set. 1kaday.diy, code 9, because we do have a major problem going on right now, you know. We have war that's breaking out, which when you can't make money off of the oil and the gas, you got to make money off the war, don't you? Right, so right now we got, of course, Russia and the Ukraine. Russia. Ukraine. And there is no one side that's right in that conflict, just so you guys are aware. You take your sides. You go ahead and do that. But war is a son of a gun on both sides. But right now, European allies are running to Russia to buy oil and gas, and they're trying to get a better deal than they've had. Meanwhile, we are supposed to have put all of these sanctions on Russia so that doesn't actually happen. And then you got, of course, increased deployments of American warships going down towards South America, stop what they call narco traffickers. And then you have a bigger buildup of all this stuff happening with people suggesting that we put U.S. troops in Poland, of all places, which is a NATO country, which if you don't know what Article 5 is, go read it. Go see why that is a terrible idea, because shots fired on American troops, even peacekeeping troops, yeah, it just triggers World War III. And don't think Putin wouldn't do it. I mean, that guy's backed up against a wall at this point. So hopefully there'll be peace. But even if there isn't peace, the oil and gas sales, that's just affecting us. Yeah, don't listen to Iran because they've been cheating with China the whole entire time. Yeah, so this next story kind of blew me away when I heard it, and I had to go verify it. It turns out that China is buying oil and gas from Iran, get around sanctions from other countries and other nations to fuel its efforts at domination of the entire world. And you might remember, Iran is the country where we came in and we put a stop to all of that. You know, the last guy, the Biden administration, they wanted to let Iran export oil and gas. You know, the Trump guy, he came in and he said, we're not doing that. You can't send it to anybody, even China. But now China has gotten 268 million barrels of Iranian oil and gas. And the way they're doing it is really weird. Apparently, they're using like a clandestine type of shipping routes to get it there. So they're putting it on ships and then transferring it and then going through back doors to China. So when are we going to stop this madness? Wouldn't it be nice to sell our oil and gas to China? I mean, it would take care of that whole $60 a barrel thing, wouldn't it? That's about all we know about the economy right now because, of course, the government has been shut down for, 10 days now, and the Trump administration has literally started firing people out of the government. Nearly 50% of all of the IRS people are being cut. An entire division that dealt with funding rural communities has been cut as well. Meanwhile, air traffic controllers are up next on the chopping block with apparent pressure put on the system. So cities like Vegas, where we are right now, could start seeing stress and stress points will start to happen. And as consumer confidence continues to plummet, which we talked about last week in a video, we're going to have issues with people not coming to Vegas in the future, which could cause the prices here to go up, of course. But we'll focus on that in our next video this Wednesday. We do a Vegas-focused video, so be sure to subscribe to the channel for that. As we ask you guys, how's your 401k? The original question from the beginning of this video. And if it's not good, you need to be doing something with yourself because right now, it's just the class divide is getting bigger and bigger, I'm telling you. Yeah, it seems the whole Vegas is dead thing has popped back up. The infographics show, a major, massive YouTube channel, recently did a video on that same topic. And the more and more I see it, on a day full of football and Columbus Day weekend, I don't see many people out here. So we're going to do a video on all those updates that matter most to you coming up this Wednesday. And at the same time, just know this place is no longer just for anybody. It's for the wealthy people. And that seems like everything in life right now. The wealthy are buying the stocks. The wealthy are buying the houses. The wealthy are getting around and doing their vacations and buying all the luxury products. While the rest of you guys, you just end up frustrated and like a rat in a cage, as Billy Corgan back in the 1990s once said in a Smashing Pumpkins song. I'm a 90s kid. Did I ever tell you that? And with that, I will tell you this. You need to get on doing something. And I say this at the end of all of my videos. I don't care what it is. If you like to bake for your family, you need to start a ghost kitchen baking cakes. If you have a vehicle that can do it, you need to start door dashing. I had this camera I'm talking to you on today delivered by a DoorDasher of all things. If you want to get into the finance stuff, you should take my course at 1kaday.diy and use code 9. All 10 of them will be gone within the hour, and it'll be more expensive when you go back to it. But you need to put yourself in a better place, because if you don't put yourself in a better place, the big corporate overlords that have taken our lives over, they will be the ones who will control that for you. So until the next time we meet, my name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. It's NLLV. And we do economic updates just like this. We also do Vegas focused videos and live streams on the weekends. Consider a subscription if you're only even 1% smarter. Now's the time of the video. I say 3, 2, 1, click. Are you ready? We'll look at the camera. We say 3, 2, 1, and click.